Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Champion vs. Creator. Let's get this out of the way so you can go ahead and hate me all you want now. Also, sorry for the noise. I got the window open because it's been freaking warm lately. Yeah. Anyways. In fact, you know what? Give me 1 second, and I will go ahead and close that. I'll stop any ambient noise. Alright. So, I'm just going to try and position myself here a bit. Alright. So, let's get this out of the way so dub haters can go ahead and type their hate, their hate essays in the comments. And it's right off the bat. Yes, I preferred this in the dub. Barely. I want to stress that part. Barely. However, I am going to acknowledge that it's because of nostalgia. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? I mean, 4Kids is still notorious for screwing things up. I mean, they screwed up Prophecy. Let's just to name one example of something they screwed up in this very episode. But to be honest with you, let me just show you my notes. This entire page over here is all my dub notes. Now, granted, keep in mind those are also universal notes, and these are all the notes I have for exclusively the sub. That's it. That's literally it. So, yeah. Where do I begin? Well, obviously, the beginning. Why not? So they start off by going up to chemo and being like, yeah, we got the 10-star chips. In the dub, they say only three more contestants can be brought in. I mean, that does tie into the thought I had, but just 4 finalists, period? I gotta admit, I prefer the idea of an 8-person, finals tournament, but maybe that's just me. And again, I know we're so late into the game, but I mean, if we didn't waste our time with duels like Panic and Bones and Panic, Bones, and fucking Face Off. No, I'm never letting that go. By the way, I also I need to correct a mistake I made in Face Off. We'll get to that. It actually occurred to me as I was double checking my thing. So I apologize for not talking about Crush Card 2 weeks ago. Don't worry, I've actually made a note here, literally in my notes. It's the last note I took in the dub for part 1. I literally said, explain Crush Card, because I'm an idiot. So anyways, they get into the castle. They whack Kimo with the bag. Igmai slips in as they're pushing the door closed. I don't think the dub shows them locking Kimo out, which is... I don't know. I don't know why you would have to lock it exactly with the bar, but whatever. I wonder how they know where they're going when it comes to going into the castle. Okay. So then Joey is made to look weaker than he is in the manga, especially in the dub, because... Oops, sorry for bumping the mic. The reason why I say they make him look weaker is... they come up with these goofy sound effects. Now, it fits the tone for the thing, because Keith is just, like, jokingly blocking his efforts. And in the manga, Joey just straight up punches him to the ground. And in my opinion, that's more cathartic. It makes Joey awesome. Then again, this isn't the last time the dub is going to... Or, excuse me. Well, yes, the dub, but this is not the last time both the dub and the sub are going to treat Joey like a flippin' moron. Moving on. Now, one thing I've always liked better... One thing I do like better in the dub, I will admit... Joey kind of wants Kaiba to win, because Pegasus has pulled too much stupid crap. in the sub, they're basically saying, they're hoping Kaiba loses because they think that's going to blow their shot at facing Pegasus. The tournament might get canceled. Okay. First of all, I seriously fucking doubt. Oh, whoops, sorry again for the mic. Okay, first of all, I seriously doubt that Kaiba is going to kill Pegasus before Mokuba gets restored to normal. You could just, be like, Kaiba, wait, don't kill him until we can get my grandpa back, and blah, 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 blah. Hey, there's an idea for fixing Face Off. Move it to after Duelist Kingdom, and have that be the final battle to get Grandpa's soul back. No, we have to we have to use the cheating. We have to have the cheating asshole be the final boss of the arc. Okay, fine, whatever. Ugh. It's funny. My next dub note literally is, "Oh, now you know about Kaiba's motive, dipshits." Because the problem is they act so shocked about Mokuba being Kaiba's motivation. In the sub, it's actually more egregious than in the dub, because the point is in the dub, they knew he was captured, but they didn't know that he was, that his soul had been taken, which makes sense, because the only person that was around for that, for when that happened, was Kaiba, So, that makes sense. The problem is that this is still something they should have figured out, let's see, at this point, 10 episodes ago. Excuse me, again, I'm never letting that fucking go. Like, I know, I should let it go because the rest of it is good. But the problem is that all I'm seeing is this one little nitpick. And I can tell you right now exactly why this nitpick bugs me as much as it fucking does. It's because so many people have praised the shit out of the Japanese version. Yeah, I blame the dub haters for this one. Because their insistence that the Japanese version is fucking flawless is so stupid, because there are literally plot holes that Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon could fly through. In fact, 4 Blue Eyes Dragons in a frickin' formation could fly through some of these plot holes. And this is one of them. Them not knowing Mokuba's plot, the Mokuba motive is frickin' horseshit. It just pisses me off. Moving on. So then Pegasus comes out and mocks the Pegasus comes out and mocks the dual disc, because this is part of his psychological warfare. In the Japanese version, Pegasus makes it pretty damn clear, as I've pointed out, which I actually forgot about this, so this is my error. As much as I'm willing to throw the dub haters under the bus, I need to throw myself under the bus when it's due, and this is a point when it's due. The dual disc would not have stopped Pegasus's Millennium Eye. Yeah. Now, in the interest of fairness, Kaiba does not know that it's actual magic. Which is funny, because the sub kind of implies that he doesn't believe that Pegasus has magic powers. But I don't think this is a Kaiba not believing in magic thing. I think this is just he hasn't experienced enough magic to believe that magic is a thing yet. Let me try and explain that a little bit. See, later stuff will show, especially in the sub, that the sub later will show that he actually does have some kind of belief in the supernatural, right? Seasons 2 and 3 basically make that kind of the idea, right? And he's already believes in it in the sub to some extent, right? Yugi performing a miracle and blah, 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 blah. He's more doubting that Pegasus has mind reading powers. You know, he can't believe that he's that unlucky. So it's not so much a disbelief in magic, it's a disbelief that Pegasus has the magic, which still, in my opinion, creates a giant fucking plot hole based upon whether or not Kaiba truly believes in magic over in Pyramid of Light. But again, the less I say about that, the better. All I want you to keep in mind is that Kaiba has love for his blue eyes, is for when we get there. And yes, I will actually be cheating when it comes to. I will be playing fast and loose with the legality of Pyramidal Light. Anyways. The soul shouldn't frickin' matter. Okay. We're done. That's another motive point. We're good. Do I want to talk about Blue Eyes now, or do I want to talk about Blue Eyes later? You know what? You know what? Let's talk about. I brought it up, so let's talk. You know what? No. We'll bring it up when Toon Dragon shows up. We'll bring it up when Blue Eyes Toon Dragon shows up. So then the dub. Here's why I say it's only because of nostalgia that I prefer this in the dub. The Kaiba needs to believe in the heart of the cards thing. Oh, that hurts. That really does hurt. It is basically just there to make Kaiba look like more of a dick. But then again, the sub is not helping that by basically saying that, yeah, I'm going to fight with Blue Eyes regardless of the fact that you just told me about a trap card that can literally capture dragons. Yeah. You know? But there is a point to that, as much as I have to point it out the ridiculousness of it. But we'll get there a bit later. So then we have more spell shenanigans, mesmeristic control being the big one. It's in both versions, by the way. So, and negative energy. I mean, negative energy, maybe you can get away with that, like how the sub words it, but it doesn't really look that way. I'm just going to be honest about that. Yeah. Anyways. Negative energy, of course, being what he powers up Dark Rabbit and defeats Crush Card with. So then we have Prophecy. So, yeah. I actually asked it a question. I literally put it as a question in my dub notes. It was like, Prophecy, another dub fail? Question mark? Spell? Question mark? Yeah, the sub actually gets this right by having it be a trap card. So, yeah. Which means Blue Eyes is stolen. Yeah. Yeah, keep that point in the back of your mind for a bit later. We're building up to it. So, I know I've been racing through this, but that's mostly because I've been just basically trying to get to this point. So, Crush Card Virus. I said it was my most hated Kaiba combo. but I didn't explain what the hell it does. Basically, Crush Card Virus forced Yugi to use his weakest monsters, because the Crush Card destroys everything with 1,500 or more attack points in the opponent's deck, basically. And, oh, by the way, it also makes it so that you can't have any powerful monsters on the field, on your side of the field at all. So even if you use Monster Reborn, nope, sorry, can't do it. Yeah, Season 1 Crush Card Virus is basically the reason I hate this combo. I actually feel like it was actually fine in the it was super powerful, but it wasn't freaking game winning. Like, we're not talking a freaking OTK deck out card like it is in the anime. Excuse me, like it is in the anime, especially in season 1. They'll balance it more in season 2. Oh, by the way, I was wrong 2 weeks ago when I said frickin' Crush Card Virus was only used, what did I say, 4 times? I was wrong. There's Face Off, here in Champion vs. Creator, where it fails. Then there's the one in season 2 with Blue Eyes helping him change the future. You know the one I'm talking about if you've seen this show. Oh, and I'll probably giving it away for when you get there, but I mean, it's super fucking predictable. It's an anime. It's anime prediction powers. Of course. Anyways, so there's Face Off, Champion vs. Creator, Hater, Changing the Future. I missed one in season 3. There is one where he uses that in season 3. And then there's the one in season 4. So it's 5 total. I wasn't completely off, but I did miss the one in season 3. But then again, that's Battle for the Bronze, and I fucking hate Battle for the Bronze. Again, by memory, and again, in the dub. Mostly because the dub double, triple, and quadruples down on the Seto Kaiba, on the Kaiba is an asshole thing. We'll get there. By the way, I'm 99% sure the 5th use of the Crush Card Virus is actually going to be saved from rant view status by the sub. Also, yeah. That's also the one where he transcends common sense. I wonder if the Crunchyroll subtitles are going to say that. We'll find out. They've been translating specific phrases really weird. Here, right? Like there's a Kisama, which is translated as "How dare you?" Yeah, but yeah, that's why I hate that combo. In the actual card game, it was basically errata. Well, okay, in the real card game, it was errata to be useless. I will grant you that. What it did in the actual card game was you sack a dark monster with 1,000 or less attack, which already actually made Crush Card Virus, more balanced in the real card game. And then every monster on the field and in their hand, and every one that they draw over the next 3 of their draw phases, automatically get tossed into the graveyard. It was a devastating combo because not only did it give you info on your opponent's hand, but it got rid of their powerful monsters too. But it was fair and it was balanced, because if you had weaker monsters in your deck, you could just defend with them, right? Like, let's say you draw Mystical Elf. Well, now I have a 2,000 point defense, right? And it only lasted, again, 3 turns. So, okay, cool. I still say Kaiba using virus cards is just freaking annoying, and is just there for him to be a cheap asshole. It really does not help the case of Seto Kaiba being an asshole, is all I'm saying. Also, Sub Pegasus, can I just say one simple thing, Mr. Crawford? That look is more anxiety than plotting against you. Okay? I'm with Maximilian on this one. Alright. So in the sub, he actually asks about manga. It's about cartoons in the dub. Both work. Both are fine. Also, by the way, I have to. I know it's a bit later, but I have to admit, either Pegasus has access to a wiki for Funny Bunny. I guess they didn't name it in the in the uh, in the sub, but the cartoon that Pegasus describes. I have to admit, it's weird because he basically said there are 583 episodes and that the dog cop, the cop dog, fired apparently over 26,000 bullets. Sorry. I wonder if Pegasus is one of those people who would actually sit there and count all 26,000 bullets. Maybe, maybe not. So then he plays Toon World, the cheapest frickin' card in Season 1. Oof. This is the first instance where I'm looking at this going, yeah, I'm debating calling this card a Mary Sue card. If you asked me in my youth, I'd probably call this a Mary Sue card because good fucking lord. But no, it gets defeated, and in some decent ways, so I'm with it. By the way, I absolutely love the Toon World theme in the dub. There's just something catchy about it, right? It sounds goofy. It sounds more like it sounds like bouncy and cartoony, but with a sinister undertone to it, right? The bum 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 bum. It kind of almost reminds me of the Cantina music from Star Wars. I can't hum it very nice, but and I might not. I don't know if I dare risk giving you guys a little taste of it. Thanks to copy wrong. But yeah. So then Dark Rabbit destroys Battleox, and then Blue Eyes Toon Dragon shows up. This is going to start Kaiba's hatred of Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, by the way, which is also going to be a pain in the ass when it comes to Pyramid of Light. But I digress. Pegasus boosts it with Shine Palace, which actually brings me to a point that I was thinking about when it came to Dark Rabbit. I think the pages represent different attributes, because we'll actually see Summoned Skull come out of the dark area, although that looks more like graveyard, but whatever. But we'll see. We'll see another Dark Toon come out of the same place Dark Rabbit did, and Dark Rabbit is of course, dark attribute. So, yeah. I'm going to have to pay attention to where Toon Mermaid specifically comes out of, because that'll be interesting. So then Kaiba goes to draw after folding his hand, and I do like the sub better in this part because it's belief in your deck. This is why I say my preference for the dub is nostalgia, by the way. And I'm acknowledging that, right? As long as I acknowledge that I'm enjoying this because of nostalgia, then it's not so bad because I'm acknowledging it while it's the same time critiquing it. I mean, I pointed out how they failed with Prophecy after all. So then Kaiba's faith is rewarded with Blue Eyes showing up. I love that. So then Shine Palace happens, and then Blue Eyes Toon tries to destroy Blue Eyes. But he stops it with Negate Attack, which Pegasus apparently didn't see coming in the dub, but saw coming in the sub, and was basically just forcing Kaiba to get rid of it because get rid of Negate Attack. Baiting it, basically. So then Kaiba draws Shadow Spell, which shackles him. By the way, I do like the idea that Pegasus actually finds that amazing that he drew Shadow Spell in that situation in the sub. Again, just because nostalgia is making me prefer the dub does not mean I'm going to bitch out the sub. Far from it. So then in both versions, Kaiba declares that his love for Blue Eyes. He addresses Pegasus, saying that he will save Mokuba no matter what, even destroying my precious Blue Eyes, where it's an apology to Blue Eyes in the sub, and I like both versions. I do prefer Pegasus's response in the dub, though, as I figured I would, because Pegasus responds with in the dub. Oh, Kaiba boy. Wait. I forget exactly how he words it, but he basically he's like your love for your Blue Eyes is apparent, and as the creator of Duel Monsters, I can't help but feel touched. Now, Sub Pegasus basically says the same thing. The only thing that's different is the end result, where he's like, they are not so loyal in the dub, and in the sub, he's like, yeah, but that love will be your downfall. I play Dragon Capture Jar. Which then he brings out Dragon Piper to try and do it, so Kaiba tries to respond with Sword Soccer, and then Doppelganger. Mimicat, as he's known in the subs. Yeah. Copies the virus card. Oh yeah, by the way, Negate Attack fail in the sub. This is the second time of that. I think from here on out they're going to stop that. Negate Attack will be a trap in the sub from here on out. I just had to point it out because it was ridiculous. But then Doppelganger copies the virus card. Kaiba can't call back his attack. Why the hell were you able to with Celtic Guardian? I don't know, but whatever. All of Kaiba's cards get infected, and then Bikuri Box finishes the job, which is a fusion monster in the real game that fuses Dream Clown and Crass Clown, only one of which we've seen. Moving on. So Kaiba basically loses by deck out. And then Pegasus inflicts a fate worse than death, and even acknowledges that it's a fate worse than death in the sub by capturing his soul and putting it in a card. Why didn't the sub just use hell? Seriously. I mean, so many other Japanese media just use hell. I don't know, did they want to avoid religious symbolism? I mean, you're using ancient Egypt, just say he's in the underworld. Harold, you're good to go, because the dub will prove that it's willing to use that word. But whatever. Oh, and by the way, Pegasus knows about Atem in the sub. Yeah. Now, there is one last thing I want to talk about, because I want to circle back. I basically just wanted to get through the rest of my notes, because it's time for my grandiose speech. So, Kaiba's love for Blue Eyes. I mentioned in earlier episodes that... Oh wow, I've only gone for like half an hour. Probably because I've been going through this pretty quick. I'll probably be talking for a bit here, so bear with me. Kaiba's love for Blue Eyes, and there's no way to really handwave this away. It starts here. This episode. Okay? This episode is where it starts. I know somebody somewhere is going to try and argue semantics with me. You're free to, but leaving the deck behind in episode 9, you know, the way Blue Eyes has been treated up to this point is it's just a rare card. And again, the ripping really kind of pisses me off a bit, because it's like, I get that was supposed to be when the evil in his heart was still around, but I'm sorry, I can't buy it. I just can't buy it. I'm sorry. It's the one hang-up that keeps me from enjoying that. It'll make sense later, absolutely, especially when we get to Millennium World, but right now, it almost feels out of frickin' nowhere, right? Again, it's like with the Thames Pride. Establishment, people. Let's establish this shit before you cram it down our throats. It helps, is all I'm saying. See also the Borg in Star Trek. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna link you guys the Lore Runner's Rumination on Star Trek: The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 26, The Best of Both Worlds, Part 1. And I'll let him explain why the Borg being established beforehand was a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways. So now that I've plugged the Lore Runner in a positive light, finally, in these videos, only took me however fucking long. But anyways, now that I've done that, I have to admit, Kaiba's love for Blue Eyes is pretty cool. And this is definitely the episode that basically cements Kaiba, or not cements Kaiba, wow. Cements Pegasus as a villain, in my opinion. Because, yeah, he's a villain here. Just full tilt, he's a villain. Because again, by his own admission, he's subjecting two people to fates worse than death. Sympathetic backstory, not sympathetic villain. Period. Anyways, that's it from me. I'm going to go ahead and chop this off. This was a good two-parter to revisit. Next time might be the worst case of filler in the entire goddamn show so far. I am sadly not even joking, because at least with episode 13, which was Dark Spirit of the Ring, we got a cool duel out of it. This is literally going to be, and I've been paying attention, as far as I can tell, this is the first time, next time will be the first time Ancient Egypt is ever mentioned in the sub. Outside of maybe mentioning that it's from Ancient Egypt, which I believe Bakura mentioned. So, never mind. But that's still too far in my opinion. And the idea of dual monsters coming from Egypt, yeah, this will be the first time we've ever had that hinted at. And at this point, I probably should go ahead and do that, because I am going to have to wait on him anyway for the other thing, so I'm going to get some more work done on these videos. So, I hope you have enjoyed my thoughts on this exquisite blast from my past, just as good as I remember, in my blunt opinion. But regardless, that's it for me for right now, so I'll see you guys next time. Blue Wolf Alex of the Lore Walkers signing out. Have a good one, guys. Duel standby.